This week on the Techlifetoday podcast, we'll be talking about iOS 9, the iPad Air 3 not coming this year, the iPod Touch release, the Samsung Galaxy S5 Note, or Samsung Galaxy S5 Note, or S Note, in August, and computers and tablets. So all this and more. Welcome to the live stream, everyone. What's going on, guys? Sky here from Techlifetoday. We are also, to those that are watching on YouTube, for the very first time, we are doing a Techlifetoday podcast, which is basically a brand new thing for us. We're doing our very first live stream, so guys that are on YouTube, if you want to go check that out, you can definitely go do that. We're on Periscope at Techlifetodayco. Thank you to everyone that's joining right now on the live stream. That's awesome for everyone to see. But yeah, we're going to get right into it. We're going to start off about iOS 9 and what we think of it. We've used iOS 9 for the past few weeks now, or for the past week and a half or so now. And for the iPhone, it's fantastic. That's in my personal opinion, and that's in my usage. I find it to be fantastic. It has the occasional stutter, but that's because it's a beta, and I can understand that. But everything else, I think it's actually a little more reliable than iOS 8. And that's, to be completely honest with you, even in the latest update with iOS 8.4, I find the iOS 9 beta to be a little more reliable than iOS 8.4. That's just my use, that's my opinion, that's how I feel about it. Take it the way you want it, I guess. It doesn't really make a difference. But frankly, I'm a big fan of the iOS 9. But however, on for iOS 9 on the iPad, I have been using iOS 9 for the iPad for about 4 days now. And frankly, it has been terrible. Absolutely horrible. It freezes like crazy. It's very laggy. It stutters often. It's not very good. I mean, I'm not trying to be rude or anything to this, but it's not very reliable and it's not overall very good. So, frankly, I don't know what to say about it. It's okay, but it can definitely be improved. If you have any questions, again, in the live stream, please be sure to let us know, because that's what we're talking about today in the live stream. But yeah, iOS 9, and obviously we're going to be here for about 30 minutes, so might as well talk. But iOS 9, frankly, to me, is a security improvement for sure. And basically just a major, it's basically everything that iOS 8 should have been. And that's just to make it simple. iOS 8 wasn't very good at the time, and iOS 7 wasn't good. But iOS 9, at least if it continues at this rate, it could be very reliable compared to its competitors like Android M, for example, or Windows. Frankly, I'm somewhat a big fan of it. Frankly, I don't know what you guys think of this. Some people have iOS 9, some people do not. That's okay. If you want iOS 9 though, just go to beta.apple.com and just sign up or sign in so you can get your free iOS 9 beta. So go do that if you want to. I'll leave the link in the description below, maybe if I remember. But yeah, I mean, frankly, it's a great device, or it's a great software, but it has limitations. Like, for example, I can't screen record at this given time on the iOS 9 beta, which is not something I wanted that. That was really one of the major things for me in iOS 8. Because if you guys know, I do a lot of the videos, or we do a lot of the videos on our iPads, on our iOS devices. So that's why it's a little difficult to do this at times, because we've been having some problems. It hasn't been that great. So, I mean, it's okay. Not fantastic by any means. but can definitely be improved. I mean, realistically speaking, I don't know. What do you guys, if you want to leave your comment in the comments section below on Periscope, please be sure to let us know what you think of iOS 9. Next thing we're going to be talking about is the iPad Air 3 won't see an update this year. Alright, so it's been rumored for about a few weeks now that the iPad Air 3 won't come to life this year, while the iPad Mini 4 will. The iPad Air 3 is rumored to come next year only because they want people to check out the iPad Mini 4th generation, which is going to have a major redesign, much like the iPad Air 2 in design. It's going to lose the existence of a mute slash lock switch, which I don't know. I use it constantly. I don't know how many people actually do or not, but I do personally. But as well as the iPad Air, or the iPad Pro, and that's the other device that they're going to be looking into using or getting soon on the shelves in October. So that's pretty cool. That's definitely something that I would look into in the near future. iOS 9 beta would probably be it's leading to an iPad Air or IPad Pro release, only because they had like the stylus. People figured out that there's a stylus coming. It's on the way, and there's a whole bunch of different things that are coming in the near future. So I definitely wait, and I definitely check out to see what Apple has in store for the iPad Mini 3. They're going to be releasing things like the hopefully Force Touch. That would probably be really cool. It's going to come in 4 different colors. There's at least rumored to come in 4 different colors: space gray, silver, gold, and rose gold, which would be a limited quantity edition. But frankly, I'm a big fan. I'm excited to see what Apple has in store for the future of the iPad line. But it's also been rumored that next year, or this year, when they release the iPad Mini 4, this will be the last edition. And frankly, I don't know how reliable that really is. I go in a little bit more in depth with that in, I think it would be Wednesday's video. So be sure to check out Wednesday's video on that, because I'll be going in depth, a little more in depth about all this. Everything we talk about here will be a little bit more in depth. But frankly, I'm a big fan of the idea for an iPad Pro. I don't know how many people actually use it or buy it. I think they're definitely trying to compete with the Microsoft Surface Pro 3, I think, or this Pro line. Only because Microsoft at this point is raising its sales and Apple is going down in sales. So frankly, while it's great that Apple's trying to do something about this, I don't know how reliable this is actually going to become, or what the likelihood of it actually occurring is. Because frankly, iOS 9 does lead to an iPad Pro, but realistically speaking, what does Apple have to do to make you want to buy an iPad Pro rather than just simply buying an iPad Mini 4 or an iPad Air 2 at the time? So, I mean, let me know what you guys think. I mean, frankly, I do believe that the iPad Air 3 won't come this year, or won't see the light of day this year. I do think the iPad Pro will be something that comes into existence. I don't know if it's going to be called the iPad Pro or not, but at this given time, that probably leads to what the actual name will be of the device. The iPad Pro, I'm kind of excited to see it. Definitely once it comes out, we'll have some coverage on the device itself. We'll definitely be talking about the iPad Pro as well as the iPad Mini 4 when it comes out. So stay tuned onto Periscope as well as on the YouTube channel for more updates like that. But frankly, I mean, I don't really know what to say about the iPad Pro line. I mean, that it's kind of, while I like the idea, it's kind of confusing. I mean, realistically speaking, the iPad Pro has no reason to be here. I think the iPad Air is good enough for the company. Especially if they decided to get rid of the 7.9-inch iPad mini line, that would be terrible, because frankly, I like my iPad mini. The only thing I don't like about it is that it's sometimes kind of slow. That's the one thing I'm not a huge fan of at times. It's very laggy at times, especially with the iOS 9 beta. But frankly, if they remove that, I think that Apple's gonna have a lot of trouble, because frankly, I use my iPad for a lot of things like reading, videos, that kind of stuff. I want something that's very portable. And while yes, the iPad Air is very portable, as well as likely the iPad Pro, there's nothing that can beat an iPad mini. I mean, realistically speaking. And frankly, I've said this for a long time. This is what Apple should do to the iPad mini line. Alright. Lower the price to $249. Alright, so lower to $249 to $299, right? So I'll say, just to be fair, $299, alright? So the tablet's $299, so it'll be in a good area with all the other tablets, like the Google Nexus, which is $399, and some other tablets like Google Nexus 7, which is around $199 to $299. It depends on what you get. But I definitely think that they should, for the first thing, is to do $299, $399, and $499 for their devices, not $399, $499, and $599, because that's at that point just worth buying an iPad Air, because frankly the previous generation iPad Air has all that and more. So frankly, I don't know what to say about that too much. I'm not going to get into too much detail about that, but they should lower the prices. They should make the iPad Air or iPad Mini 4 or the next iPad just as fast as the normal iPad, the iPad Air. The only reason I say this is because people like ultra portable devices, and I'm a big fan of that as well. So frankly, I mean, if they were to do this, I think that would help them in sales to a certain extent. I think that would definitely help their growth in sales. That's something that I would recommend doing for the company. Another thing I would recommend probably is to make the bezels somewhat smaller, because frankly they are kind of big. And the last thing, which I think is really important, is I think they need to realistically speaking, I think they need to make it on par with other tablets, because frankly, if you look at this versus all the other tablets, the iPad Mini overall is a really good device, but people don't want to pay the money. People don't want to do all this for it, and they'll just say, you know what, I'm just gonna buy an Android tablet or a very cheap iPad. Yeah, no, it's not really a good idea. But it's not a good idea for Apple not to lower the price. I think that's very major. I think that's a huge thing for them to do. But I don't know what to say. I mean, realistically speaking, the iPad Air line overall is, at this given time, better than the iPad Mini line, only because of the redesign, that kind of stuff. And another thing I think that they should do, now I'm thinking of it, is they should do a redesign. I mean, realistically speaking, Apple hasn't done a redesign of the iPad Mini since the first generation iPad Mini, which is the one I own. It's 2012 model, I believe, the 7.9-inch, 16GB in black, if you want to know what kind of device I have. But the iPad Mini hasn't seen a redesign since 2012. It's been almost 3 years. since they've seen a redesign. So I think Apple needs to consider doing a complete redesign of their tablet. So frankly, I don't know what to say. iPad mini line, it's okay. I mean, I'm not saying that it's gonna be bad, but I don't know what to say about that too much. Next thing I want to talk about is the iPod Touch. And now a lot of people like this, alright? The iPod Touch release. iPod Touch 6th generation. Alright, so the iPod Touch 6th generation has basically an A8 processor, a little bit underclocked compared to the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus. It has a gig of RAM, it has an 8 megapixel rear camera, and LED flash, which has been rumored to be underperforming. It doesn't have Touch ID, which is kind of disappointing, and it comes in different colors. So, frankly, it's great. I mean, really speaking, I'm very happy of the iPod Touch release. I'm a very big fan of it. I like the design. While they've been keeping it the same way for the past few years, I do like it. One thing I wish they would have done is to add Touch ID, because that would be very useful, I think, in the long run. And a lot of people are complaining about that. That's the #1 complaint. Maybe if they couldn't do sapphire, do, I don't know, plastic. Just do something, because I would love to have Touch ID on an iPod. And I was going to say, I was going to consider purchasing one only if it had Touch ID. And unfortunately, it didn't have Touch ID. So that's why I didn't care to go for it. I would at that point just go for an iPhone. So, frankly, I mean, the iPod Touch, it's a great device. I think it's good for kids. I definitely say that. For people that want a phone without the phone capabilities, this would be the best option for you. There's nothing else like it on the market, at least for this price, which is $199, I believe, and $249 and $399. I don't remember the exact prices, but I gotta say I'm very impressed with the iPod Touch. But I just wish they would have added Touch ID, because I think that would have been, in the long run, a major thing that they could have added. They also added the Motion Core processor. I think it's the M8 Motion Core processor from Apple. So now it can, if you want to take it for a jog, it'll track your steps, or it'll have a pedometer and all that. So, I mean, while this is all great and all, frankly, I wish they could have done a little more. Realistically speaking, they added a few more colors, like the blue color as well as the gold, and I believe a pink or something like that. I don't know if they have the. I don't think they have I don't think they have the yellow one anymore. I think that's the model that they might have gotten rid of. I'm not positive on that. Don't bet me on that. I'm just saying possibly. But yeah, I mean, real speaking, I think Apple has a lot in store for the future. I do think that they're going to be released next year or somewhere around that line. Because frankly, they need to completely rehaul the iPod line. I mean, real speaking, this is a very silent upgrade. You couldn't even find it on the App Store or Apple Store unless you looked very deep into their website. So, I mean, realistically speaking, iPod Touch is nice, but I don't know if I would recommend it other than for people that are kids, or other than kids. I mean, I definitely say it's an upgrade to the iPod Touch 5th generation, which is, I think, 3 years ago now, or coming on 3 years. But for those that don't really care for a fast processor, I just go for the iPod Touch 5th generation. Next thing I want to talk to you guys is this Samsung Galaxy S5 Note. Now, I'm personally very excited about this. I've always been a fan. I've been a fan ever since of the Samsung Galaxy S6 ever since it got released. So I am very excited to see what Samsung has in store for the Samsung Galaxy Note 5. I am very excited about this device. I can't wait for it to become a thing, because I know you and I both know it's going to become a thing. And based on what we're hearing in rumors, it's going to be just like the Samsung Galaxy S6, just a little bigger, faster. We'll have obviously the S Pen and that kind of stuff. So I'm very excited about it. I'm very excited about the Samsung Galaxy Note 5. So again, if you'd like us to go check that out, please be sure to let us know in the comment section down below, because once it gets released in August, because that's when it's rumored to get released, or I think August 15th, due to Apple wanting to compete with or Samsung wanting to compete with Apple in sales with the iPhone 6s, which will be released later in September. Frankly, I'm excited for this. I'm very excited for the S5 Note. It's going to have a fingerprint scanner, obviously much improved one compared to the S4 Note. It's going to have a better camera, rumored to have a better camera, better front-facing camera. It's going to have like a, what is it? Rather than pulling it out, you just push it in and it pops out. So that's pretty cool for the S Pen. And the S Pen's supposed to have some additional features. We'll have to wait and see for that. Don't know whether that's true or not. And I'll see why it wouldn't be true. But we'll definitely have to wait. It's going to come in 32 gigs, 64 and 128 gigs. Because unfortunately it will not have a micro SD card slot and will not have removable battery, which I know a lot of people that would be very disappointed to hear that, because that's what a lot of people I know, or for a lot of people I know, that's the only reason that they get the Note line, because obviously the big screen, they have a micro SD card slot expansion, as well as a removable battery, which I think in the long run is very important for people. I think that's something that they really need to consider in the long run. I mean, the S5 as well as the S4 and every other device before that, I mean, had that. I mean, every other Note as well as Samsung device had it before the Samsung Galaxy S6. Now, frankly, I'm a very big fan of the Samsung Galaxy S6. We've used it. You could check out our videos on the Samsung Galaxy S6 as well as the S6 Edge. But we're a big fan of these devices. I'm personally excited for the S6 Plus or S6 Edge Plus. I am very excited for that. That will be a device I actually consider getting rather than the Note. Only because, frankly, I love the curved screen. Now, whether I'm going to have to pay for that or not, that will probably pay more for that or not, that will ultimately make my final decision. But frankly, at the same time, I'm trying to actually debate between a few different phones when it comes out. I'm trying to debate between the Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge, Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge Plus. Alright, those two devices. Just the normal S6. Alright, which I think I might wind up crossing off the list, only because I would want something a little unique. So S6 Edge as well as the S6 Edge Plus are on my hope list. For possibly my next phone. And then there will be the S6 or S4 or S5 Note. Oh my gosh, so many different numbers. S5 Note, which would be another one I would consider. And then the final one would be the iPhone 6s Plus. Alright. So those are all devices that I would definitely consider looking into in the near future. I'm probably going to wind up going for the iPhone 6s Plus, only because it's also rumored to come in, rather than having to pay $199 for 16 gigs, they're going to be getting rid of 16 gigs and putting in 32. So it's going to be 32, 64, 128 gigs, just like the competition. So frankly, I could talk about this for hours, and I might actually eventually do a stream about this, or a live stream talking about the competitors and companies, that kind of stuff. And I might, if you want that, I will definitely do that, or I'll definitely consider it. But the competition, the only reason that Apple's even thinking about removing 16 gigs and putting in 32 gigs as the norm, or as the base for all their devices, it's simply because of competition. If you look at it, LG's LG 4 starts at $199 for 32 gigs, I believe. The Samsung Galaxy S6 and as well as the S6 Edge start at $199 and $299 for 32 gigs. The Samsung Galaxy Note 4, I believe, starts at 32 gigs for $299. Don't bet me on that, but I think that is the case. I remember looking at, because I had an upgrade available last year, I decided not to take it, but there was there's two different options, like the iPhone 6 Plus is considering, as well as the Samsung Galaxy Note 4. And I think I was leaning a little bit towards the Note 4 only because of its 32 gigs. So, frankly, I don't really know. I'm excited to see what happens with the competition in the near future. I don't know what to say about that. But realistically speaking, I am excited to see for the future. But for realistically speaking, that's the only reason why Apple's decided to remove the 16 gig option, just bring in 32. Only because now they're losing money. So they're basically losing money now because basically the normal Joe, the normal person that's looking for a new phone will say, all right, we're walking into a Verizon store. I'll just use that example. Alright, so I walk into a Verizon store and I see all these different phones. I see I want a big phone, so I want to go for a few options. The LG G4, the Note 4, iPhone 6 Plus, or the, I don't know. I'm just trying to think of another option. It comes to the top of my head right now. So let's just use those three options, alright? So let's say the iPhone 6 Plus, the Note 4, as well as the LG G4. And you know what? Maybe we'll add the Nexus 6. Alright, that's a big phone too. So we'll add the Nexus 6. Alright, so those four phones. First off, I want a big screen. So I want one of the biggest screens. All those are big screens. Alright, next I want, I don't know, maybe, I want a good design. Or I want I don't want plastic. Alright, so the person doesn't want plastic, so they'll remove the LG 4, unless you get the leather option, but so most people don't know about the leather option. So they'll remove the LG G4, and they'll remove the Nexus 6. Actually, no, they'll keep Nexus 6 because it has the aluminum border. Next up, I want a device that's very useful for my case scenario. I want something that I can easily put or do things on. So we can remove the Note 4 only because sometimes it is very complicated with the software. So the person, let's say Lisa, for example, Lisa wants a very good, wants a good design, good hardware, and then she wants software that's very easy to use. So bye-bye to the Samsung Galaxy Note 4. Alright, so then there's the Google Nexus 6, and then the iPhone 6 Plus. Then Lisa says that she wants, I don't know, she then wants a micro SD card slot. Well, none of those options have that, so she's going to have to figure something out that doesn't contain a micro SD card slot. So then Lisa thinks, and then she says, you know what? Since I can have a micro SD card slot, I want to have a, let's just say, I want to have a base. I want to have the highest storage available for the lowest price. So then she compares everything, and she sees $199. Because believe it or not, the Google Nexus 6 is $199 at this given time. At the time of recording this video, but the Google Nexus 6 is $199 for 32 gigs, I believe, and then the iPhone 6 Plus is $299 for 16. So then she thinks a minute. So basically, I'd be doing $199 versus $399. So I'd be paying $200 for the iPhone, because frankly, or the iPhone 6 Plus, because of the, if you add everything up, $200 more would equal 32, or roughly about 64 gigs. But so then Lisa decides that, you know what, I'm going to go for the Google Nexus 6. Frankly, because she wants a good device, she wants good hardware, she wants good software, she wants decent battery. I mean, that's a big one, but frankly, Google Nexus 6 isn't great on battery. She also said she wasn't able to get the micro SD card slot. She really wanted the biggest bang for your buck, and overall, that was the Google Nexus 6. Now, if Apple were to release the iPhone 6s Plus with $299 for 32 gigs, people might actually start considering a little more. It would be a little bit hard for Lisa to decide to go for the Google Nexus, because then there's still problems with both devices, but there's more problems with the Google Nexus 6, like the battery life, that kind of stuff. So, frankly, Apple needs to make it to where the base is 32 gigs, not 16. And I think that's going to be something that you're going to be able to see this September. The last thing we want to talk about today, because we're going to be wrapping up in the next minute or so, is computers versus tablets. And I get this question all the time. What is better? Now, frankly, I do a lot of my editing recently, and all my filming, or most of my filming, on the iPad mini, the first generation iPad mini. And frankly, it's not meant to do that. It freezes up constantly. It's not great. And frankly, it's not a video editor by any means. Alright, so while it has iMovie, it's not a video editor. I go for the iPad Pro for that. Maybe that's the use for the iPad Pro. Alright, I'll leave it at that. Alright, so that's that. Next thing is that computers versus tablets, frankly, for the tablet line, or at least my use, I do try using it as my only device. Alright, I don't like bringing computers anywhere with me. I don't like that kind of stuff. So I don't bring a computer with me half the time. I just use my iPad. And for most things, it's pretty okay, actually. It's pretty well, actually, to be honest with you. I haven't had terrible problems with it recently. I have occasional lag, occasional stutter. I do have the occasional restart. But frankly, right now, during the podcast, I am actually doing the video on my iPad. So as you can see here, I'll show you actually real quick. So as you can see here, there's the recording feature. I don't know how well you can see that or not, so I apologize if you couldn't see that very well. But the computers, I mean, really speaking, for most things, unless you want to do really big productivity, the iPad is your best bet, or tablet's your best bet. The Microsoft Surface Pro, frankly, while it's considered to be a tablet, it really isn't. It's a computer. There are touchscreen computers out there. Microsoft doesn't know that. But, frankly, the iPad is really good for this stuff. Frankly, I don't have too many problems with it. It's pretty decent. It's not terrible by any means. And I'm actually somewhat enjoying it. So, computers versus tablets, here's what I'm going to say. Unless you're a very heavy core or hardcore designer, editor, filmer, that kind of stuff, I just go for a tablet, and respectively the iPad Air or the iPad Pro. So, really speaking, that's where I end this today. This is where I end the live stream. Thank you guys so much for watching the Techlifetoday Weekly podcast for this week. This is awesome to see everyone here. And yeah, let me know what you guys think about this idea. I'm thinking about considering it to change the name to Tech Talks. That'd be pretty fun too. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. And for those on Periscope, be sure to follow us for great news like this. But yeah, that's about it, guys. Thank you for watching today's live stream. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe. And again, we have a Friday live stream, or we have a live stream on Friday as well. It is actually called Tech Talks, but I'm thinking about changing. I'm actually trying to vice versa, basically. So I'll be calling the live stream on Friday the Techlifetoday Weekly, because it's a weekly thing, and then the this podcast, the Tech Talks. I'm still trying to figure that out whether I want to do that or not, but I'm still considering my options for this. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you like this or not. We're going to be having a group of people on the live stream on Friday. I don't know if I'll be attending, but I do know Gio will be, and a lot of his friends and my friends as well. So be sure to check out the live stream on Friday. We'll also send out a notification on Twitter about the live stream on Friday, just like we did on our device. Or for the live stream today. We're also going to be doing a gaming live stream later on. If you want to ever check that out, that's on Mondays and Fridays, generally around 12 p.m. Eastern. But yeah, that's about it, guys. Thank you for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video. Peace.